JJ just ran off to interview Phil Joel, one of his idols from Newsboys United and Zealand Worship. Let's check in.
Well, Phil Joel, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on the JUCE House Party. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. You know, I've got a tight schedule, but I managed to fit you in, so that's good, you know?
Perfect. All the touring, all the craziness, you know?
I got fired. I lost my job, guys, so, you know, I've got nothing else to do.
I guess I'll hop onto the JUCE House Party. All right. So Phil, what, how are you guys, you and your family, spending your quarantine? How does a day in the life of Phil Joel and his family look like right now?
Day in the life of Phil. Oh, well, I've got to be honest with you. I'm kind of sleeping in a little bit later than normal right now. Is everyone doing that?
I was for a bit, and then I started to feel like guilty about it. And then so I was like, okay, no, I got to set my alarm earlier. And then I kind of let the alarm, hit the snooze button a few times. So I'm kind of back in the not feeling guilty.
Oh, good for you. Okay, well that inspires me to get up a little bit earlier again, because I've been an early riser historically. But lately, I've just sort of been sleeping into 7:30. It's a big sleep in around here.
Yeah.
And, sleep in, and I get up and I get a juice. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Usually those are green. I mean, that looks like just kind of brown sludge, but I'm sure it tastes good.
It's really good. Actually, no, it tastes like dirt, but it's really good for me.
That's good. Good for you. So are you staying creative in this time? Are you writing?
Very much so. I've got a little studio space behind the house, so that's where I have all my guitars and gear and all that stuff. And so I get up and running, and then head out to my studio and try and fight the war of art. Try and make music. And it's been going good. It's been going pretty well. I mean, I usually like to surround myself with a lot of people who are more talented than me in the studio, but I can't. It's just me. So it's fun though. It's been good.
That's good. And are you writing right now? Are you writing more for Zealand, kind of some of your just own stuff, or a little of everything?
You know what? I've been writing for the last couple of years. It's time for me to make a new solo record. I haven't made a solo record in a long time. Mm-hmm. And so I've got things I want to say, that I think are kind of new and a little different for me, and maybe even for the genre, if you want to call it. And so that's what I'm trying to record and work on. Yeah.
That's great. I love that. Well, for a lot of us, and I'm sure that you can relate to this, Phil. Our life is go, and there's so many things that are pulling for our attention. In culture will say that our identity is found in the things that we bring to the table, how many likes we get, how many followers we have, whatever, the list goes on and on. And even right now, it's such a weird time in our world to be able to stop and stay home. And that can be hard, but there can also be some really good that can come from it. We can easily let ourselves get sucked in by social media, by Netflix, or we can take some time to do some work on ourselves and on our souls. And one of the reasons that we wanted to talk to you specifically is, about a year ago now, you wrote a book, and it talks a lot about this, and it speaks to how we can find hope in crazy situations in life. And in the book, you talk about, what it is we all want, what it is we all need, but we tend to search for that in wrong ways. And, what was the catalyst? Was there a catalyst or something that spurred you to write this? Was it something that you observed in culture, or did it just kind of come to you?
Well, like you say, I mean, we all want to be seen, we all want to be understood, and we all want to be loved, or liked, Oh, yeah. It's like this, do they like me? So we all want to be seen, understood, and loved. And oftentimes we go to places that promise that, but just don't deliver. They really don't deliver. We keep going back, hoping that we'll find some sort of, that we'll breathe a little less shallow. Maybe it'll give us something, some sort of a sense of identity, of satisfaction, of significance, of meaning, and it just never does. It's never enough. Anyway, I wrote a book talking about that, but it began. You told me you read it though, right?
I did. I loved it, and I think that every student, every leader should read this, because it's such a timely message, and it was just so refreshing. And I felt myself as I was reading it. I was like, oh man, That's so simple, but that's so good.
Good, yeah. It's a pretty easy read. You know, I wrote it. I mean, I'm not a real, you know, I'm not some kind of, you know, super educated theologian or whatever. I'm just a guy, you know, who plays music in a rock and roll band from the other side of the world. And but you know, I feel like I've learned a few things over the years, and so I wrote a few of them down. Yeah, I wrote a book about it all.
Yeah.
So amazing. Redwoods and Whales. Gosh, such an encouraging book, and I know it just really uplifted my soul. And so, students, make sure you guys check this out. Leaders, check it out. It is absolutely amazing.
It's easy to read too, JJ, right? I mean, it's like
Really is.
a book for dummies.
I mean, I read it so fast. I couldn't put it down. I was just keeping going.
So
I did the audiobook too, and the audiobook is only 2 hours and 15 minutes, which if you can read fairly fast, you can read it in a couple of hours easy, you know.
That's easy. And plus, you know, people spend way more than 2 hours and 15 minutes on Netflix. Pause the Netflix, listen to Redwoods and Whales. It's easy.
come on.
Yeah. enough Tiger King, come on.
Yeah, no more Tiger King. Joe Exotic's got enough of everybody's attention. Come on.
Okay.
Well, we would be foolish to have Phil Joel with us and not ask him to sing us a song. So, Phil, do you have a song for us?
Just so happens I have a guitar.
You do? You willing to step up to the microphone?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the cheesiest joke.
Low-lying fruit.
Low-lying fruit. Well, you know, I mentioned that I've been working on new music.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote the song. I actually, before this whole coronavirus thing happened, you know, you know, I'm from New Zealand, and my heart, you know, got really broken about a year ago when some terrible tragedy, some terrible stuff happened down there. And, you know, sometimes when the bad stuff happens, we as human beings in the communities kind of start to come together, you know, and realize, man, we're all in this together. And funny thing is, as I watch the news, I think I've heard that saying so many times. We're all in this together. And we've got to look out for each other, and we've got to take care of our neighbors. Right now, taking care of our neighbors is staying away from them, you know.
Exactly.
But anyway, I wrote this song called, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call it yet, JJ, but maybe you can tell me. But I think it's pertinent for now. So let's give it a shot.
All right.
Everybody wants to be a part of something bigger. Yeah, that's why we're here. I'm no exception, my dear. And everybody wants to live a life beyond themselves. We all know deep down we're all connected somehow. 'Cause we're all in this together. Yeah.
my gosh.
That's
Never
amazing.
played it before. I've never played it for anyone, so there it is.
Oh
I
my
made it.
goodness. Geez, that gave me chills, that bridge. Whew.
Oh, cool.
I love that. Thank you so much, Phil. So good. Well, hey, we got to do a would you rather question with you.
Yeah.
All right, so Phil Joel, would you rather cut your hair or never do anything with music again?
Oh my goodness, what are you doing to me?
That's the hardest one.
Would I rather? I'd cut my hair. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that one day. I'll look like you, JJ, and you're a handsome fella. There you go.
Well, but your hair's so iconic.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's just hair. It'll grow back someday.
Yeah, right. It's just keratin protein.
Amazing. So, Phil, do you have a quarantine tip, quarantine hack? Some way to kind of maybe pass the time.
Quarantine tip, quarantine hack. Always lots of water. Mountain Valley Sparkling. I highly recommend that. Purell, of course.
Yes, lots of Purell.
And then, of course, Pocket Gallagher. Yes.
Pocket Gallagher.
Gallagher. Hours of fun.
And what's your high score?
I think my high score's in around the 200s, which ain't too shabby for an old boy,
That is not too shabby. I'm not good at video games, so I would probably get like 10.
Cool. Well, hey, good hanging with you, man, but I got a game to play.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Phil.
All right, bro. See ya.